Hi, Mike Munro. I'm the author of a new book called The Last Bushrangers, who were my great uncles. One of them was hanged in Boggo Road Jail in Brisbane in 1903. Both were convicted to hang, but the younger of the two, Jimmy Kenniff, was sentenced to life imprisonment, and he didn't finally die until 1940. So definitely the country's last bushranger. And his older brother Patrick was hanged in 1903. They killed a policeman and a station manager. So it's a wonderful colonial story of our last bushrangers, but I do emphasise I'm not defending them and I don't justify what they did. I hope readers get out of the book two things. It's a personal journey of mine. My name is not Munro. My grandfather changed his name illegally overnight because of the shame of the Kenniff brothers and the gang. My grandfather's name was Patrick Kenniff, the same name as his relative who was hanged, and he changed his name overnight to Henry Munro, had 5 children, the youngest of whom was my father, and they all grew up illegally Munro until a death certificate was issued in my grandfather's name. So there's my personal journey. Once I heard about it, not until I was 30, and I started to research it and wanted to tell their story as the last bushrangers. And the second thing I would hope people get out of it is that it's just a wonderful tale of the end of a colonial era in Australia in the of bushrangers. The Wild West only went for 30 or 40 years. Our bushranging era went for over a century. And these guys were the last of their era. Love libraries. I grew up in a monastery. My mum was the housekeeper for 12 Marist brothers. I was an only child and grew up fairly poor. So a library was really important to me because it was a great escape for me to go off and disappear into Enid Blyton's or Famous Five, the Secret Seven, all those wonderful books that I loved growing up with, and then into adulthood with Master and Commander series. I've read all 21 of them. I love reading those as growing up. My mother was right into Harold Robbins, so I read a lot of those books as a teenager, which I probably shouldn't have been reading. I've just finished Tom Hanks's Uncommon Type. Tom Hanks has written a book on short stories, and the common theme to all the short stories are typewriters. He's a mad fanatic about typewriters. So, and I am too. I started as a cadet in newspapers, as a journalist. So I still have a typewriter, I still bang away on a typewriter occasionally. Stories matter, I think, because it allows certainly young children to, for me anyway, to escape the problems sometimes at home. My mum was a well-intentioned, decent, hard-working woman, but also a violent alcoholic. So for me, it enabled me to escape and disappear into make-believe. It also helped with vocabulary, and I suppose that for me spun into telling stories. Can't tell you how excited I have been over the years when I've got onto a big story. It's so exciting, and to be able to tell it, inform people and help people along the way as well.